Hey everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but we are just gonna dive into today's video. It is a budget with a friend review where one of you had submitted your information over to me. I will leave the link in the description box if you are curious to see how I would break down your budget, what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. And this is like no judgment. I will give recommendations at the end, but right now we are just going to go on into talking a little bit about who our friend is here. So let's go ahead and just get started. So who is our friend? So a bit about them. They wanted to remain anonymous. As you can see here, they're a household of one. They rent from family. They live on disability as of right now, and so they're utilizing savings and government assistance. So that is essentially what the income is the government assistance. She said that this is monthly, so on the first of the month, she receives this income, and it is $900. It could be up to $1,300 if she gets, the income plus $560 in savings. So she said that she has savings from what this looks like, but then you're going to see at the bottom, she told me that she didn't have savings for the government assistance. So I'm a little bit confused on that. We are going to have this is just healthy conversation. So if you see any recommendations of what could benefit her, definitely share your thoughts. All in love, all for the betterment of this person, because we want people to thrive in their finances and not struggle, right? That is the goal, and that is the purpose of personal finance, so that way you can do better, and that is what her goal is. So that's what the income is. And with the expenses, she says as of right now, her rent includes utilities, phone, transportation, some other things that she's not aware of. And so it's altogether $600 paid for on the first of the month, because that's when she receives her income. And she does have some subscriptions totaling $75. So I wonder what those subscriptions are. She didn't share that with me. Again, I'm only sharing what they had shared with me. So I can only base on the information I did receive when I break down their budget. This is good news. She has no debt, so that's amazing. And she says here that she's unable to truly utilize savings and sinking funds due to government assistance. So she didn't tell me that she had savings, but then up here she told me that she does receive $560 from savings. So again, I'm a little bit confused. You can email me if this was yours. You can email me and we can have a conversation via email. All right, so sinking funds, I asked, does she have any sinking funds saved on my form? And she's wanting a fresh start for each category amount, and she's wanting to save for Christmas, birthdays, fun, and you can read the rest here. And I asked, what is the goal dollar amount? If she had nothing saved for sinking funds, what would be the goal? She says in total, she would want about $16,000 for these categories. And in the end, what is the main goal? She says, honestly, learning how to live paycheck to paycheck and doing it well until I can achieve a better source of income, and hope by then my story will be very different. Well, I wish that for you, because I know from seeing people live on a fixed income, I work at a bank, so I am the one that these customers will come up to do their transactions, and I see when they receive their Social Security or disability, they get it either on the first, the third. Some people, the third Wednesday of every month, they receive this government income, and they don't have employer income. So that can be challenging. I've seen them where they are kind of tight. They're trying to make that dollar amount, which is so minimal, last for 30 days. And that can be so challenging, especially in the world that we're living in, inflation, cost of living. Now, there's one thing that she did mention to me about her variable expenses. She utilizes SNAP. So that is government assistance for purchasing food. I am not too familiar with that. Again, I am not judging at all. So I know that you can like buy food and all of the other things with that. So that's good that you're able to buy food and make sure that you're, you're eating and you're being fed. It's just you. So I don't know what type of disability, I don't know any personal information about this individual, but I do know from seeing it firsthand that it is challenging to live on a fixed income in the society that we are in. I don't know where she lives, so to determine what would be a best number to live off of as far as your spending, it's kind of challenging for me. But let's just go on into the budget. And so this is kind of what I wrote out. Since it's monthly, she gets paid once a month. I'm only basing on the minimum amount, which is what she received from disability. She told me $900. That's what she gets. But then obviously it could change if she gets a little extra or she takes from this savings account that I was not really aware of. But if she gets from savings, it could go up. I base my budget off of percentages. I have talked about this since the beginning of my channel, really, and this is from Jordan Page, and it's really changed our lives. So even though it's this is very small for living off of. And so $900, you break this down into, in this case, she didn't tell me anything about tithing. I do know that she mentioned she would like to tithe in the future when, stuff kind of settles down for her. So how you get these numbers is you'll take your income and you're going to multiply it by a percentage amount. If you are in debt, or if things are kind of tight for you, I would recommend living off of 80% of what your income is. This will cover your bills, your daily cash envelopes. If you're not a cash envelope user, it will be like your variable spending for your categories. And then 20% will be for your goal. And that goal could be paying off debt, building your emergency fund or other savings categories, and your sinking funds. And if you don't know what sinking funds is, it's just different savings buckets for things that are going to be coming up. So she had mentioned she wanted to save for Christmas, birthdays. Some people, it may be saving to renew your car registration whenever that ends up, or your driver's license, going on vacations in the future, holidays, stuff that is going to be coming up and you do spend money on. You want to save for that so that way you're not tempted to swipe a credit card or get into debt. You have the cash on hand and you save throughout the year for those categories. So that is what your goal can be. In her case, it is very small, but we're still going to try to figure out a way that we can make this work. So since she has a limited income, we're still going to do this. And I had already calculated it, but let me just kind of show you on the calculator how this works. So you take your income and you're going to multiply it by the percentage. So if you're in debt, I say start to live within 80% of what your income is. If you can make it a little less, then that's great. Maybe push it to 70% of what your income is to live off of, and you can kind of cut back if you're able to. So 900, and we're going to multiply it by 0.8, which is 80%, and that gives us $720 as the amount that we can work with that's suggested for anything that leaves your bank account, anything that leaves your wallet. $720 is a recommendation, and 20% of that is 180. We're going to do that again. 900, multiply it by 0.2, which is the 20%, and that gives us the number of $180. So she had said that everything is included. $600 is what she pays on the first of the month to the relatives. A lot of other utilities and things are included in that cost. So that's $600. And then she said $75 is for subscriptions. I don't know what those subscriptions are, but if it's something that is not a need you could possibly save in that case. So if it's, you have like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, what are the other ones? Paramount Plus, HBO, you have different type of subscriptions. Again, she didn't mention to me what that was, but if it's like these TV subscriptions, maybe cut back so that way you're limited to 2 or 3, where you're able to save some money on that and you can allocate to savings. So right now she has $675 for expenses, and she said that she uses Snap, so she doesn't have variable categories over here. I left this blank because we're gonna have a conversation about this. So $675 is what she's spending right now. We said that $720 is a good starting amount for her to spend out. And she didn't mention anything about savings because being on government assistance, it's hard for her to do it. Or I don't know if you're able to like register that you have this amount saved and that will disqualify you. I'm not really an expert. I just hear it from my customers of what they do, why they don't want to keep so much money in the bank because they get government assistance and they can't showcase that. I have my opinions on this, but it's just me speaking to you as a friend. I would suggest that your first goal would be to get an emergency fund. And so we're going to go on to my recommendations next, because I think that we've kind of gone over what could be possible with what she's making, but I need to get into my recommendations now because I have just a few. And I want to say, I think it's great that you do not have debt. That is fantastic. Being on a fixed income, it could be difficult for you to possibly get credit. But I think it's great that you do not have debt, because that would just be one added expense that you do not have to give. So I think it's wonderful that you have not gotten into credit card debt. It can be tempting to do, but it's possible that you may not qualify because of your limited income. And so it might not have been approved, but I think it's great. You are hoping to change your situation in the future. That was one of your goals. You say maybe things will change, and I hope that for you very much, because being in a tight income and not having room to live a life that you love with the freedom and the abilities that you can have with finances, that can be challenging. It's hard. And so I do hope that you can somehow get a higher income stream, maybe working. Again, I don't know to what degree the disability is. So I'm just take this with a grain of salt, these recommendations. If you're able to work, that would be a goal. Maybe do a stay-at-home job that doesn't require you to like stand for long hours. There's a lot of opportunities for work from home. So definitely, I suggest looking into it. Again, I would say your focus should be to save, get an emergency fund. You want to be able to become independent so that way you can avoid relying on the government for providing for you on such a low income. I have my thoughts on government assistance just because I have seen firsthand, my parents are on government assistance. They've been on government assistance for many years, and I see the struggle, and I see it firsthand too for my customers, relying on that month to month, and it's so limited where there's so much opportunity for income earned from yourself and not relying on the government to take care of you. Because guys, the government, the stuff that you see on news, it's just so saddening, and it's frustrating to see like, gosh, why are we battling these things? And it's kind of pointless. God gave you and I abilities to be able to be like kind of self-sufficient and not have to rely on these people that they truly do not care. I personally believe that they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about what your struggles are. If you owe them money, they will for sure take it from you as quickly as they can. I've seen it happen where accounts are like frozen because of stuff that maybe was not reported. I don't know, but try as much as you can to, and I know that this is a goal for you. You said it in that form that you submitted to me, that you want to make things different. And a way that you can is to try to see other ways for you to earn an income and not depend on the government to take care of you. Because there's so much more that you can earn by and achieve by being self-sufficient with the abilities that God gave you. And I truly believe that. Again, I don't mean any harm or like shame. If you are living, again, there's people in my life that they do, and but I hear the struggles. I hear the cries in their, when they talk about like their financial struggles. And it's because you're living on government income, fixed income, so small. And then the next thing is to get a minimum of $1,000 in your emergency fund. You want to have something of your own and start with $1,000. Reach the remaining money here that you have. $225 is what's left after those expenses. You have your SNAP. You have $225 every month that you can put to your emergency fund. $225 to reach $1,000. Let's see how many months. That will take you about 4.5 or so months. So that way you'll have $1,000 saved cash in a savings account. You can totally do it. And I don't know how that would affect you receiving this income. I don't know how all of that works. Not an expert on that, and I will not claim to be. But this is what I would do. If I woke up in your shoes, I would do everything I can to try to earn an income that is a steady income, that is much more than getting $900 in a month. But again, I don't know your personal situation as far as how you receive your disability, what that entails. I don't know if you had worked before and you're receiving this now due to an injury. I don't know. But I would try anyway to possibly do maybe a work from home position, earn a little bit more, really focus on building a savings so that way you can depend on yourself and not the government, because truly, I don't believe that they care about us. Just with everything going on. But yeah, so this is what I would suggest. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm just one person. I am not at all a financial advisor or anything. This is just Lizzie sharing what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. And so if you have any other suggestions on what they could do to better their financial situation, so that way they can save for their future, for savings, for investing, for building their sinking funds, then definitely let us know in the comments. We'd love to have a conversation with you. And if that's at all helped you, maybe sparked something in your mind, then give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, because I'll be posting more of these Budget with a Friend videos in the future. And yeah, thanks so much for being here. And I'll see you guys right here in a brand new one. Bye guys.